So, Roman, here you might be leaving Spurs in the January window. Where do you think you may be signing to?
You know, I haven't really thought about all that, you know. There's some rumours that I might go up to Newcastle. But I'd rather go back to Russia, where I come from, you know. It's going to be strange up in Newcastle, you know, because of the way all the people talk up there, you know. They're going to have problems deciphering what I'm trying to communicate to them in conversation. But I did think when I was sitting on the bench the other day, I didn't even sit on the bench anymore, you know. But I was thinking, you know, that the theme that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, about the universe and all that caper. Well, I've been thinking about the future and all that and what the world will be like in 3527. And I got to think, I was thinking there'll be people walking about in like spacesuits and all that, and monorails. There'll be like monorails and electric gadgets and that kind of caper. And I thought to myself, you know, eventually you'll be able to fit everything in the universe onto a cracker. No, I know, it sounds like a strange proposition, but I thought that everything that ever was, ever has been, or ever will be on a little cracker. And I'll have such superpowers that I will be able to understand everything all at once. And again, I got to thinking to myself, right, you know, in the future, that far ahead, I hope they still have puddings and all that. I hope so. However, catch you when you're older. Thank you very much.
And please welcome to the stage Mr. Theo Delaney.
Ooh, you love me, yes.
Many of you would have heard this man's dulcet tone, Mr. Andy Linden. All right, good evening and welcome to the Spurs Show. My name is Phil Cornwell, and you may notice that it sounds slightly different. That's because we're all round at Mike's house doing it, and his entire family is here. You can hear them all. They're all here.
Who's going to take the dog for a walk?
Welcome. Anyway, listen, welcome to the show. Thank you for downloading us again. And, well, you just heard Andy Linden there. Welcome, Andy. Good to have you on. Good to have Andy Linden back again.
Lovely. Phil did, we all love Martin Joe. We love Martin Joe. And it brought it back to me, and I'm sure you guys know. Remember when we drew at Arsenal 1-1? There was a little occasion where, I can't remember it, when Carrick was indecisive, two fucking gooners clash into one another. Joel, from the touchline, screamed, "Go on, play on, play on!" I don't know if you remember it. And, Keane, shouty, pointy man, scores, doesn't he? Yeah?
Shouty, pointy man.
Well,
That's it.
Phil. He was all, you know what Keane was like? He'd have made a mime artist, you know.
Pity it's on radio, really, but I mean... but I know people will know what you were doing.
Nice starts.
Nice starts.
But my point is that there was that confrontation that went on with Joel and Wenger. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And Joel says, "Well, what is he trying to do?
Yeah.
Headbutt me. Doesn't he realise I'm a big, strong man?" And that's fine, but the following home game, it's on the monitor. I've come out of the toilet and all Tottenham fans are under the monitor. And all of them just turn around and go, "Fucking do it, Marty!"
Oh, great. Andy, thank you, mate. That's great. And you heard another voice there, which I haven't introduced, Theo Delaney.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, Theo.
Hello.
Nice one, mate. And of
The
course...
voice of reason.
The voice of reason.
Yeah.
We need him. The sort of Scott Parker, isn't he? Really, a sort of
Steady Eddie.
So he'll sit and hold in front of the back four. You know,
That's me. Don't worry.
prodding and probing.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave it there. Mike Leigh is here.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Mike.
Oh,
You know.
Hi, Phil.
They don't get out much. Do they? That is your family, isn't it?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Anyway, it's great to see you all, lads. And this is all a bit new, isn't it, for us and for the listeners, actually, because they're actually here watching us doing it,
Yeah.
which is brilliant. And I don't know if anyone wants to gloss over what happened yesterday.
Well, I went up there, Phil. I was there. It was a grim day out. It was always
Apparently
going to be
horrendous. Was the conditions were
It was a
horrendous?
horrible day out because it's a very horrible place, Stoke. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I take it there might have been a few people in the audience who were there.
Anybody else go up?
But
It's
yeah,
a very ugly place. But in the last couple of years, we got results there. So you think, well, we'll brave it, and in the hope we get a result. But we were robbed by the Olympic cyclist Sir Chris Hoy. Fucking bastard!
What's he doing, refereeing anyway?
What the fuck?
But that's true. He's had loads of abuse, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Chris Hoy's had loads of abuse on
He's
Twitter
had a lot
from
of
Spurs
stick.
fans.
Quite rightly, in my
Thinking he
opinion.
reffed the game.
Yeah. I think he's deserved every bit of it.
But look, to be honest, though, we gave him a 2-goal start, didn't we? I mean,
We did.
We didn't know what hit us. And
The disappointing thing is they came at us in the way that Stoke always do the same thing. They come out and they chuck everything at you. The
Wasn't
kitchen
fair.
sink. It's
I
like
don't think.
they play like a rugby
No.
team. Yeah, but why weren't we prepared
Let's play
for
football.
it?
They
Why
won't
weren't
play
we prepared
football.
for their rugby tactics? That
And
was the
it was.
disappointing thing. For 15, 20 minutes, they were all over us just by chucking everything. There was no
And
football
why is it
involved.
Everington? Why it had to be Everington? To score
Yeah,
as well?
Edrington, exactly, yeah.
The bitter irony.
The bitter,
I
gambling,
know.
addicted bastard.
It went like that. So. Still, forgive and forget, eh?
Forgive and forget. Lovely man, actually.
God knows how.
Yeah, I love
bastard.
Very nice fella.
So, anyway, so Stoke, we don't count that. That's kind of didn't really happen, did it?
Well, I mean, I think let's take the positives. We were robbed, right? So
Yeah,
we
we
should
were.
have, on the balance of play, we were worth at the very least a point, possibly a victory. We played quite well second half. Harry, to his credit, changed. He doesn't
Yeah,
do that
he
very
did.
often. Completely changed the shape of the team, and it seemed to work. There were some good performances, and but for the referee, we'd have got at the very least a point.
And the linesman.
I mean, you do
And the
wonder.
lino, yeah.
Yeah, you
Whose
do-
name was Bollocks, I was told earlier.
You do wonder.
Sean told me he was called Bollocks, the linesman.
Yeah.
Literally, that was his name.
You
Rob
do-
Bollocks, that's
yeah.
it. He robbed us, and his name's Bollocks, that's it.
Great.
Chris Foy is a referee, but you do wonder what sport. You kind of think, well, maybe a white shirt, dicky bow, box on.
That's right.
But what we have to do, obviously, after that, is
Bounce back.
and to beat Sunderland. And,
Desperately, and unfortunately for us, because of a conspiracy engineered by Arsenal at the FA, Sunderland have got a new manager, which means that they will be really pumped up and organised, and they'll come, they'll
I
shut
know.
up shop, and they'll go for it.
Martin O'Neill's there. I mean, hey, love me.
But the other thing they did, Stoke, and I don't know if you're allowed to do this. They shortened the pitch.
Yeah.
Do you notice the pitch
Well, I
was
asked
like
them about
sort of 5
that.
yards shorter?
Yeah. They said
And
that
then
was
told they
the other
narrowed
guy, the Roy Delap 2, who literally had a towel sewn into his shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that allowed? They banned
not football, is it?
towel. He's got a towel.
Yeah, I know. They have watered the pitch. They're, going to have a bit of alteration
But didn't you
on a
think?
boxing day.
I mean, the
there,
throw-ins,
think.
we were like, oh no, what's
Yeah.
happening? The ball
But
bounces.
we
like,
should have
oh,
been
what do
ready
you do?
for it, really.
Yeah,
We should have
we
been better.
should.
Yeah.
We should have done it.
dealt
Can you
with
imagine
it.
having to watch that kind of football week in, week out?
I mean,
They love it. Do you know what they sing?
Shocking, isn't
We're
it?
Stoke were bad as well, weren't they?
We play how we want.
Yeah.
And then they sing 2-0 to the rugby team, 2-0. They don't give a fuck.
Fair play to them.
They love it.
No, fair play to them. Fair play to them, mate.
No, they turned us over. Look, they had it with us for, 30 minutes. We were second to the ball. Our centre
exactly,
halves were at sixes
exactly.
and sevens. Come on. We were cack for
Yeah.
that first 30 minutes.
We were,
Come on.
but then hang on a moment. Let's put it in perspective.
and we
lost
didn't
it-
learn a thing. It's the idea, you go to Stoke and you've got to stamp your authority on the game. If you want to, we want to be top four.
Yeah, from the whistle, yeah, definitely. But we
Come
didn't.
on, look, we were waiting for something to happen, folks. Don't you think? Rather than putting out ideas and style on them.
Yeah.
We waited for
It's funny
something to
because
happen.
Harry said in the build-up, he said, as long as we play our way, we'll impose it on them. And we went out and we just got blown away by him. It was
we did.
disappointing.
It was too late.
But only for 20 minutes. After that, we were a better team.
What about Kabul? Do you think it was two bookings?
No way. The second one was absolutely no way a yellow card in any circumstances, let alone a second yellow. There was not. I mean, that was right near where I was. That was just an innocuous.
But could it be
foul.
rescinded? I mean, I think the first one, the fact that he went up to the ref and said it was a penalty, and then he got booked
Yeah.
for giving it.
Yeah,
the
but-
fact it was a penalty, and they
It
could
was,
look back.
but Mike,
sure
you're-
that should be rescinded.
Yeah, but what you're saying is he went up to the ref and said, "Excuse me, it was a penalty." No, he didn't do that. It's a fucking penalty, ref. You fucking blind bastard. That's different. Yeah. So
Do it, Martin! Do him!
the first one I understood more than the second one. I got to say.
All right, Shamrock Rovers. Do we care?
No.
Forget
Move on. Forget it. Move
wait
on.
a minute. No, Mike. What's
A
gonna
good night
happen?
out.
They're giving us like 800,
We've got to win
800
30-0,
tickets.
haven't
or
we?
Good
whatever.
night out in Dublin.
No,
but
seriously.
yeah,
What? Can
exactly.
somebody explain to me what's got to happen?
Not me.
Right.
6-0.
Okay. 6-0.
6-goal swing, isn't it? 6-goal swing, isn't it?
And Poke's got
Got to lose to Ruben Kazar. I mean, we want to go through, though, do we?
got to lose. They got to beat them. haven't they?
You want to go through?
Yes!
Oh, I think.
Let's have a straw. Let's have a straw. Let's have a
Just
show
so
of
like, we
hands.
go through, we get Man United in the next round. That'd be typical, wouldn't it?
Why don't we have a show of hands? Because I'd be interested to know how many people want to go through and how many people don't. Who wants to go through in the UEFA Cup?
Yes!
I'd say
Well,
what?
yeah, you're not
15%.
sure, are you?
15%.
You're not sure, you're
Who wants to
wavering.
go out in a blaze of ignominy? Fuck it.
I don't know. I'd like to have a go at it, but there you are.